Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today our group will present about the hype. So this is a list of our group members. So first starting with Abdul Rahman bin Isha UDE 20002. Number 2 Amin Pal Jit Singh UDE 20012. And then Muhammad Aiman bin Shamsuddin UDE 20040. Then followed by Muhammad Amirul Ashraf bin Muhammad Nizam UDE 20042. Then my name is Muhammad Amirul Hafizullah bin Khairul Saleh UDE 20044. So me as Muhammad Amirul Hafizullah bin Khairul Saleh UDE 20044. So I will talk about the introduction about this film. So data of release this film the film was released in 10 August 2011. So there's several cast as described below. So first Emma Stone as Eugenia Skeeter Phelan. So I will talk about the main character. So Viola Davis as Evelyn Clark, Octavia Spencer as Minerva Minnie Jackson. So another cast as described below. So we move to director of this film. So the director in this film is Ted Taylor. He is an American filmmaker and actor. So in this film, the budget to make this film is in around $25 million. So duration of the film, running time of the movie in almost 146 minutes. So the film based on The Hype is a 2009 novel by American author Catherine Stockett. The story is about African Americans working in white households in Jackson, Mississippi during the early 1960s.
Hi, my name is Amirpaljeet Singh and my matrix number is UDE 200012. And now I'll be talking about the summary of the movie. So the story starts with Eugenia, who is also known as Skeeter, wanted to become a writer. She had good friends who were all married, but she remained single. She wanted to help the African American people. This is because she knew how badly they were treated by white families, as she even witnessed some of them being treated badly by her own friends. So she decided to write a book of discussing the stories of African American people being treated badly by white families. So she wanted to start with Abeline. Abeline was Elizabeth's maid, and she used to do the house chores and take care of Elizabeth's daughter May. She loved May so much because she lost her son few years ago, and she showered all her love towards May. Minnie Jackson, who was Abeline's friend, used to work for Hilly Holbrook. Haley treated her very badly and even fired her from her work one day when she used the bathroom. Minnie struggled until she was hired by Celia Fute. Celia was rejected from joining league, the junior league by Hilly Holbrook because Celia was dating her ex-boyfriend. Minnie took revenge with Hilly after making her a pie made out of her feces. and she even ate two pieces of them. But she later on realized, and Minnie ran away from the house. In writing the book, Abeline rejected it first, but decided to tell her story when she received the message from church that we always need to do the right thing, even though it is very hard to do. At first, only Abeline and Minnie gave their stories, but it was not enough. She Skeeter needed more people to give their stories so that this book could be published. Many people at first they didn't agree to share their part of story, but after the two incidents happens, which were the black man getting shot and an African maid being caught for stealing, they decided to tell their part of story to get justice. Um, in writing the book, Skeeter received a lot of challenges from her mother, where she wanted her to get married, and from her friends who were more focused on carrying out an initiative that was made to made for black people having a separate toilet while working for them. The book was successfully published, and the money which Skeeter got, she decided to divide it among all those African American mates. And but in writing this book, Skeeter lost all of her friends. She lost her boyfriend Stuart, but she did got support and love from her mother Charlotte. Minnie Jackson still worked for Celia and her husband, while Evelyn was fired from work after Healy framed her of stealing Elizabeth's silverware. In the end, Evelyn and May both were separated and both were sad as they feel they are incomplete without each other. So that's it. Thank you.
My name is Abdurrahman bin Ishaq. My matrix number is UDE 200002, and today I will talk about opinion in the movie The Help. So first we talk about the mood in the movie. So the movie is for the mood is the need of transformation of reality from what into what should be. So the movie is based on novel, and the writer of the book says that she creates a work in which the mood social change is embedded into how the character relate to themselves and one another. The tone of this movie is generally light, and it does not become melodramatic or tragic. The mood of the movie The Help is story about inequality and injustice. At the same time, it portrays mood of love, caring, and deep friendship and adversity. In my opinion, this story tells us about the history of the America in time of 1960s, about the discrimination of the black people and the bravery of the black people to state the truth about the inequality that have been done in America. So we move on to the camera techniques. So the camera techniques, we know that the movie unit is a narrative style, and the movie have been used in the movie as a lot of techniques, and some of them is a tracking shot. With this technique, you can create smoother movement and follow the subject, at least lift the frame or simply add dynamism and otherwise static camera shot. For example, the scene when the character named Skeeter, the played by Emma Stone, is coming home to see her mother. So, in my opinion, it is an introduction to the home that they live in and the contrast that the home has to be homes and ways life to of the help. The shot brings the character and the audience through the door and into the story. Next, for the color costume. The color costume in the movie, the help is they are using a bright color in the costumes. Based on the costume designer, Sharon Davis said that they are using a mixing made to measure tops and daytime dresses, which with vintage skirt and jewels. This is based off adaptation of Catherine Stockett's novel, The Help, and that sets apart the 60s looks and set in Run and Mississippi. So Sharon Davis said, I look at the copies at Vogue from the 1960s for inspiration, but it was too sophisticated. So I ended up getting my ideas from 17 movies from 1960s. So in my opinion, this color costume very important in any movie because costume is worn by one actor and one specific character in the specific scene or scene in the story. With this costume, it can communicate the detail and of the character personality to the audience and help actor transform into new believable people on screen. So other than that, is the character. So the protagonist of the movie, The Help, is the three narrators. That is Abilene, Minnie, and Skeeter, and the antagonist is Hilly. So Evelyn Clark is a maid and nanny in Jackson, Mississippi. Evelyn is the first narrator and a middle-aged African American employed by Elizabeth Lifford. Um, um, uh, Minnie Jackson is the second narrator. Is the sassy maid, and Minnie Mouse has gotten her into many trouble, one too many times. Evelyn Friend and a character who is unable to keep employment because of her bossy demeanor and sharp tongue. After she lost her job with Miss Walters, Evelyn helps her to find a job with Celia Foods, who's considered a white trash and is shunned by sorority sister. And Minnie is married with 5 children. So for Eugenia Skeeter Fallon, is a recent graduate of Ole Miss, has returned to her hometown of Jackson, Mississippi to find a job. This leaves her open to seeing her hometown in equitable treatment of the black domestic family, the female maids in the employ of her friends. Skeeter both admires and fears disappointing her mother and her friend Hilly, yet she pursues to completing a manuscript called Help with primary assistance from her good friends maid named Evelyn and Minnie. So the four antagonists, Healy Holbrook is a childhood friend of Skeeter and the president of Junior League in Jackson, Mississippi. Room with Skeeter at Ole Miss for 2 years and dropped out to get married. Her husband is running for the Senate and Healy tried to push through a sanitation initiative so that the all white homeowner have a separate room for their black domestic. Healy is a woman who enjoys controlling others and striking fear into who dare oppose her. When Skeeter begins to work with the maid and subsequently has the help published, she runs a poll of Big Bad Philly. Also, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, I will explain about analysis of the movie's plot elements. Number one is justice. The book becomes a powerful force in giving a voice to the black mates and causes the community of Jackson to reconsider the carefully drawn line between white and black. For the second one, we have 3 points, which is for brave. The first one is Skeeter approaches an editor in New York City with the idea of writing about black mates in her town and is tentatively given approval. The project begins her transformation from the woman she was raised to be the independent, brave woman who chooses her own path. Second one, Abilene realizes she has more to offer in life than being a maid and find the courage to try something new. The last one is Abilene realized the danger that could result from her decision, but she embraced the risk and relies on her faith for guidance. The third one is friendship. The writing project also leads to a friendship with Abilene that never would have been possible if Skeeter had chosen to breed for her own community. Number four is passion. The example is Kitters decide to leave her community and move to New York City to follow her dream of writing. The fifth one is lover. Abilene is a wise and weathered black maid who has raised 7 white children. Number six is honesty. Abilene teaches the children she raised that the color of skin does not matter, but love and kindness do. But she often feels that the message is countered by the racism in Jackson. The last one is independence. Abilene discovers her own courage and talents, which leads her to leave her job as a maid and accept an undetermined path that will lead to more independence. The last one, through her rejection, too, she learned to stand up for herself. Celia defends herself and Minnie one afternoon against an intruder, and the violent encounter propels her to take even more initiative in her life.
Assalamualaikum and hi, this is me Muhammad Aiman bin Samsudin. I am from group 7. So for my part, I will explain the conclusion of the movie. What lesson that I got from the movie. So without wasting time, let's get started. Um, okay, conclusion. In this movie, all the plot fits into the concept of ethics where we should not judge someone from skin color. On the other hand, we must appreciate them as we value others. In terms of concept or value of ethics, this racist is something wrong and should not be done, but there is a feeling of them right and can be done on the basis of racism and law in their country. So that's I can conclude about the conclusion. So, but in my own opinion, never judge a person by the color of their skin. The statement "you should not judge, you should not, you should never judge a book by its cover" parallels the fact that you should never judge a person by their color. Color has no effect on a personality. Color has no effect on a personality. It is all about the action a person chooses that define you. So stop racism and spread love. That's all about the conclusion. Thank you.